Hey, what's up guys, Sedge here. Welcome to the Q&A video. Now, as always, I'm of course late on this video because all of my videos come out like fucking 5 days late. But I'm sorry guys, I've been a little bit busy and blah blah blah. This is literally my last week of the school, so maybe I'll be able to put in more effort into my YouTube and whatnot. But anyway guys, so a week ago I asked you to give me some questions. I say a week ago, but it's literally like a week and a half now. Of course there has to be a shitty bus that goes past me as soon as I press the record button, but whatever. So I asked you guys to give me some questions, and as always you guys didn't fail me, and I'm very happy. The fights in the background are a little bit trashy, but you know, the forest wasn't the best then. But anyway, the first question comes from Suriku123, and I'm sorry if I'm going into this very fast, but he asked me, will you mod me in your chat? And I might mod you, man. I might. I mean, I've personally never actually seen you in my chat, which doesn't fill me up with hope that, you know, you want to be a moderator, you want to obey the laws of the Sedge and whatnot, because, you know, I take moderators very serious, you know, dude. Like, I literally have people who have been in my streams for like hours and hours and they're not moderators, but maybe one day, man, if you spend 10,000 hours in my stream, yeah. Anyway, next question, and thank you for that by the way, comes from Princess Sum, also known as Conveys, also known as Conveys HD, and he asks me nudes. This guy wants nudes off me. This is what my YouTube channel has come to. People asking me for nudes. You know, look at this guy. Just look at him. Nudes. Wow. And I've gave this guy so many nudes, so I don't know why he's complaining. But no, I can't give you any at the minute. I'm saving up for something. But anyway, the next question, and thank you for that, Conveys, is coming from Cooper the King. Or should I say X Cooper the King X? Got to include the full name. Will you be doing and challenge runs like the no bonfire challenge? Lol. I wanna, but I feel like it'd be too hard for me. I'd never complete Dark Souls without a bonfire. It's just not me. My playstyle is very aggressive, and playing defensively just annoys the shit out of me. I mean, I can always try, honestly. I don't mind trying. I really don't mind trying and seeing how far I can get. Maybe get other people to try and see how far they get. Maybe like some of my friends as well, or anybody who wants to participate, and we'll just see who does the best without co-op. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea, so I might consider doing that in the future. Thanks for the question, Cooper. Anyway, the next one comes from Doesn't Rumble Q&A, and he actually asked me this question twice, and I think I still included it in the Q&A, but he asked me, do you plan to extend your content beyond Dark Souls? And yes, I've literally said this so many times, I do plan. Every person that's ever asked me, I'll always say yes, because a channel's never going to grow off one game. It will, but there's always a limit. And you know, the Dark Souls community is pretty big now, especially when Dark Souls 3 came out, but I don't really do Dark Souls 3 anymore because I don't really like the game, and you know, so I have to have my faith in the Dark Souls 1 community, which is tiny. It's literally tiny. Unless they do some sort of remaster, it's always going to be tiny. And because of that reason, I can never really, you know, get enough viewers just from one game. So of course I'll have to extend one day. But the thing is, and a lot of people don't understand this, but with YouTube, you know, sure, I might be the content creator, I might be the channel owner, but you guys are the viewers. And if I do something you don't like, there's no point in me doing it, because, you know, I'm never going to grow from it, and my channel's just going to get crippled. So if I just transition to a new game all of a sudden, and I know I wouldn't get enough views to just kind of sustain my channel, this is why I have to build a bigger audience so I can kind of alternate between games. So yeah, I hope you understand, Dozen, but I do plan in the future, and I hope it's going to be quite soon. But anyway, thank you for the question, man, very much appreciated. So the next question comes from Withered Gecko. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but he asked me, what is your favorite weapon and why? Now, I've actually answered this question I think 3 times now. This is the exact specific reason why I tell you guys to watch my Q&As. It's not because I want views, it's literally because some people ask me the same questions. I'll still answer it because my questions seem to always change anyway, but I mean, my answers seem to change all the time. Sorry about that. But basically, like I said in my last video, my weapons alternate. My favorite weapon always alternates. Sometimes I like this one, sometimes I like that one. Like last time I said Gargoyle Tail Axe, which now I feel stupid for saying, but I mean it's a good weapon, really. I mean, I don't know, it's a little bit underestimated. It's got a great move set, does enough damage if you scale it correctly and whatnot. But right now I guess it's the Murakumo. I don't know if you're referring to Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 3 it's probably... I like the broadsword, and it's not because it's so OP, I just genuinely like the broadsword, so yeah. I guess the Astora's Great Sword as well, that's quite a cool weapon in that game. But if you are talking about Dark Souls 1, then it's probably the Murakumo just now, just because it's what I'm using. Whenever I change, that becomes my weapon of choice or favorite. So yeah, I hope you understand what I mean, and thanks for the question. So the next two questions actually come from Beloved of Flies. These are both kind of related to each other in some sort of way, so I just decided to put them together. And basically, I'll read it out. So he says, overall opinion on Dark Souls 3 as a whole compared to 1 and 2. Discuss likes and improvements. Question, overall opinion on Dark Souls 3 PvP, taking into account S-Stock spam, Dark Sword spam, Cestus offhand meta, and blah blah blah. So, you guys can read that if I didn't read it well enough. But anyway, so Dark Souls 3, the PvE is great. I'd say it's second best from Dark Souls. In my opinion, nothing's ever going to beat Dark Souls for me personally, because it was the first game I ever played that was, you know, a first Souls game. So, you know, maybe if I played Dark Souls 3 as a Souls game, I would think that's the best because it took me the longest to complete, but that wasn't the case with Dark Souls 3. I literally completed that game so fast, it didn't even feel hard at all. There were some bosses that I struggled on, but you know, I completed the game a lot of times in New Game Plus, and the New Game Plus is trash, honestly. There's no phantoms, there's no reds invading you, there's no scaling at all. The bosses aren't even that much harder. The enemies are not harder even. Nothing's harder, really. There's nothing. There's literally no reason to go into New Game Plus except for the rings, and you know, if you're going into New Game Plus for rings, you might as well just get somebody to drop them, because what's the point in, you know, going into New Game Plus, doing a whole new game for some rings that barely do anything. So yeah, that's how I feel about the PvP in general. I think it is second best from Dark Souls 1. It definitely beats Dark Souls 2 by miles. And yeah, but I mean, it's overall a good game. The PvP I hate it. I don't know if it's just because I'm bad or what, but I hate the PvP in that game. I hate it so much. And it's not like I've never had a bad experience with the S-Stock or the Dark Sword spam, honestly, but I've had, you know, constant ganks, and they're boring to me. I don't like ganks, okay, and I also don't like duels. I like fights that, you know, are unpredictable, but they're not duels, you know. A little bit like the Dark Souls 1 fights that I'm having here, you know. Somebody invades me, I don't know if they're going to be dishonorable, I don't know if they're going to be honorable, you know. We all, you know, just come in unexpectedly or whatever, and we just fight. Some people might gank, and the occasional gank is fine. It's fun sometimes, but when there's four people ganking you, that's just boring. And especially when they have more Estus than you, more health than you, in general, just a huge advantage over you in terms of quantity of people and everything. And even if they use the Seed of the Giants, then that's even worse. And the only way you can beat these people is by making cheap builds, and people actually wonder why other people use the Dark Sword, the S-Stock, because they probably invade expecting a gank. So what do you expect them to use? A fun weapon, maybe a strength weapon that literally, you know, it's impossible to use strength weapons against so many people. Since poise doesn't exist, it's even worse, and I don't know, I just don't like the PvP overall. In comparison to Dark Souls 1, of course, Dark Souls 1 was flawed, and I'm not gonna lie, there were so many glitches with the backstabbing and whatnot, but once you learn to master them, once you understand them, how to counteract them, it gives the PvP a whole new depth, you know. There's actual skill involved in it, you know. Backstabber fishing is nothing you can just do, because the other person, if they know what they're doing, they can counteract it easily. And there's more layers of skill that you need to learn, you know. You need to learn how to, you know, chain backstab against other people who are ganking maybe, or You need to learn how to counteract chain backstab. There's so many things you can learn about PvP and the backstabbing mechanics that are of course flawed, but who cares, because it gives the game more depth. That's why I kind of like it. You know, in a fight in Dark Souls 1, you have to look out for things a lot more than what you would have to look out for in Dark Souls 3 PvP fights. You know, like I said, it's just swinging in Dark Souls 3 and kind of just, you know, patience. But in Dark Souls 1, you have to really look for what the other player's doing, you know, if they're going around your back and whatnot. And yeah, so that's just why I like the PvP more. And yeah, so thanks for the question, man. And so the next question is, what is your favorite enemy in Dark Souls, boss and non-boss? And this question comes from Dark Sparrow 312. So I think my favorite non-boss enemy has to be maybe the Haid Knight, or I don't know, maybe Solaire, or any of the kind of knights that look like crusaders, because I'm very fond of that. Dark Souls 3 is definitely the Templar knights. They look so sick, or the cathedral knights, whatever they're called. But any enemy that has the loaf box helmet, or whatever it's called, or the sugar loaf helmet, I don't remember what it's called, but I just love those helmets. They look so sick, and the enemies are amazing. I remember the first time I saw Haid Knight, I fucking jizzed myself. I was like, whoa, bruh, if I can get this armor, I'm gonna be happy. And my favorite boss is probably Orenstein and Smaug, just because it's really the only boss I struggled in the most. Like, I must have spent like a good day doing that. And yeah, probably that, because it's just yeah, I just have the best memories of that boss, you know, all the struggles and whatnot. So yeah, thank you for that question, and I'm sorry if I answered vaguely, but I don't really have that many favorite things in Dark Souls. Everything alternates. Sometimes, you know, the things happen and I feel like this thing is better than the other. So yeah, thanks for the question, by the way. Next one comes from the next one comes from Denzel Ace, and he asked me, what does a donkey and a female deer have in common? I have no idea, man, and can't be bothered to Google it, so you're gonna have to tell me in the comments, man. But yeah, thank you for the question, so to say, and I do hope to get the answer in the comments, by the way, Denzel, so you better be at it, bro. Yeah. Okay, next question. So again, the next one, and this is weird because I don't know if this guy's not like up to my channel or what, but Cooper the King asked me, in all honesty, this guy did send me a message saying don't answer that, or if you have, then just don't answer it. So I'm just gonna like pretend that was an accident. Well, not pretend, I'm just gonna assume that was an accident, but from his part, because he did send me like 3 questions, and maybe he just thought this one wasn't good enough, but I'm still gonna answer it because I'm a savage. But yeah, I have played Dark Souls 3, believe it or not. It's quite amazing, that game, except the PvP is a little bit bad. But anyway, next question. The next one comes from Sir Yunquire the Third, and he asked me, why are you such a shit Dark Souls player, Sedge?
Hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again.
Wow, I've never been hit that hard. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've beaten you more than once, but I mean, clearly I'm not up to standards. But you know what they say, I wasn't put on the world to impress everybody. Or at least you, Yunquai. At least you, scum. Anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm just trash at Dark Souls, and that's why I'm bad at, you know, Dark Souls, really. I mean, yeah, I don't know how to answer that, so yeah, thank you for the question, Yunquai. It really means a lot. Really show, you know, I can't even begin to show the appreciation for such a nice question. But anyway, next question, and thank you, Yunquai, comes from Anime King 1, and he asks me, what made you want to play Dark Souls? And I'm pretty sure I've answered this, I really don't remember, and we are going on to the YouTube questions now, but I mean, as soon as I played Dark Souls, I mean, if you mean what made me kind of want to play Dark Souls more and just carry on playing it, is probably the customization. I really love the fact that you can just find weapons, and, you know, if you want to use it, you can, you know, and pretty much just the customization, all the armors. Oh shit! Sorry about that, son. Sorry about that. All the armors in the game, you know, the weapons, the spells. It's the way you can just replay the game over and over and over, and just kind of never get bored because there's so many things. You know, so many ways to do things. You don't have to go one way. You can always alternate where you want to go, what you want to do first, what boss you want to kill. It's just the options in the game. You're not forced. There's no real storyline. You kind of don't know why you're doing this except for the lore. And I love that about this game, and that's probably what made me want to play Dark Souls. So yeah, thank you for that, Anime King. Thank you very much. So the next question comes from Genopa, and I mean, he totally didn't Google this question, but it's okay because we don't judge people, except for Genopa. You guys can judge him all you want in the comments section. And he asked me, what would you do in a week if you were told you only have 1 week to live? And like, he totally Googled this. Totally Googled. He couldn't even be bothered to come up with a question. How sad. I feel like I shouldn't even answer this, but I would fly to Africa, and I would literally come to you, Genopa, and I would spend the entire week with you. We would go on a date with Shadow. We would change our names, our YouTube names, every 5 minutes, and we would talk to ourselves via the fake accounts and pretend like we have so many fans. I'm sorry. Everything I just said is an inside joke. Nobody will understand that but Genopa, but it's okay because nobody really cares about Genopa's question anyway. Anyway, thank you for that, Genopa. I hope you don't get offended, but yeah. So anyway, next question comes from Doesn't Rumble again, and he asked me, in terms of content, do you plan to extend? And I already answered this. Again, you know, I can't really because my audience isn't big enough yet, but I do plan to if I still continue with YouTube in a couple of years, and I really hope I do because it's something I've invested a lot of time in and blah blah blah. But yeah, thank you Doesn't, my boy. Alright, so I hope this is the last one. I'm thinking there might be a couple more, but what was your best Dark Souls experience? Level up, asked me. So I really don't remember. Nowadays I just PvP, and there's always some funny shit that happens. Maybe some hate mail, maybe somebody jumps off a cliff by accident, blah blah blah. But it's nothing like too exciting because I literally just play by myself in PvP. I guess some of the best moments happen on stream when other people are here. Maybe, you know, I don't remember my PvE. I really don't. When I started playing Dark Souls 1, I just can't really remember anything. But I do recall there being some funny ass moments with my friends. Sometimes, you know, just funny shit happens. So I guess maybe playing with my friends. I don't really remember a specific one, and I know that's what you're asking for, but I just don't remember. You know, I don't have a story for this, which is quite stupid because I've played this game for such a long time. But I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I can't answer that properly. But I guess playing with my mates and just having fun, I guess that might be it. But yeah, thank you for the question, Level Up, and hope you don't get mad that I didn't answer it properly. But yeah. So the next question comes from Shadow One Royd, and he asked me, what's your least favorite game in the entire Soul series? You know, and how would you rank them in order? So I'd probably say Dark Souls 1 is the best, then I'd say Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 2. Now, this is opinions, so please don't get mad. You know, maybe you might think Dark Souls 2 is the best game in the world, but I don't want to go into detail why, but that's just how I'd rank them because, you know, I just feel like they're the best. I don't want to go again into too much detail because I don't have that much time to talk. The footage is not that long. But yeah, that's how I'd rank them. And I've never played Demon Souls, but it seems like a really good game. And you know, maybe I'd even consider putting. Fucking hell, I can't talk. I can't talk, and there's no time. But maybe I'd even consider it putting above Dark Souls 3. But I've never played it, so I can't really talk. But apparently it's very good. It's very good. It's second best to Dark Souls 1 according to a lot of people. So yeah, Bloodborne was a great game as well, but it wasn't Dark Souls for me. You know, it was a great game, really fun. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't Dark Souls, and the PvP was even worse than Dark Souls 3. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for that question, Shadow. At least you didn't Google it like someone did. Thank you. So the next question comes from Fuel Stealthy, and he asked me, are there any sweaty one-shot spells in Dark Souls 3 like WoG in 1 and 2? Now, first of all, I don't think WOG is that OP in all honesty, because, you know, it's not that hard to counteract, at least in Dark Souls 1. And I've never used spells in Dark Souls 3, like, literally never used spells in Dark Souls 3. I think I might have used a buff or something, but that's about it. So, I can't really answer that. I'm just gonna assume no, because I've never seen anybody make a sweaty build. I know there's some sort of crystal, like, lightning bolt or something that literally one-shots people, so I guess that might be pretty OP. There's actually a guy called Comrade who does these like trolling builds, and he used the spell, and you can go check him out. I mean, if you really want to know, I can leave a link of his channel, and you can go, you know, see the spell he uses. It's very OP, but there's only one shot, so you can only have one go. If you miss it, you miss it, but I don't know how it works. I really don't use magic, so I can't comment on that, but thank you, Stealthy, thank you very much. And that's the end of the Q&A, very thankfully. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm sorry that I can't really talk at the end because, you know, I don't have footage, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to stay tuned for more content. Thanks, guys. Honestly, I'm sorry for the video coming out late and everything, but I will see you next time. Bye bye.